So we're going to be making a paladin here. I totally put the book down after I flipped to paladin. I know what I'm doing. I was prepared for this show. This is cleric. This is paladin. No, this is fighter. This is Patrick. This is paladin. Hell awaits, an eternity of torment and fire and ice, or whatever best suits the sins of the damned throngs of Dungeon World. All that stands between the pits of that grim torture and salvation is you, holy man, armored war machine, Templar of the good and the light, right? The cleric may sing his prayers at night to the gods dwelling in their heavens. The fighter may wield his sharp sword in the name of good, but you know, only you. Eyes, hands, and sweet killing blow of the gods you are. Yours is the gift of righteousness and virtue, of justice, vision too, a purity of intent that your companions do not have. So guide these fools, paladin. Take up your holy cause and bring salvation to the wastrel world. Ve Victis, right? Alright, so, how many names of this? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to roll a d12 and find out what my name is. We're going full-on random generation here. 12. Of course, there's not 12. We're re-rolling it. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go with 7. Octavia. I like Octavia as a name. Character sheet. Oh, come on. Don't screw me, book. I might actually have to bust out the SRD. Name. Octavia. We're randomly generating it and then ignoring the random results because that's how we roll. Okay, next up is look. Choose one for each. Kind eyes, fiery eyes, or glowing eyes. Kind eyes. We'll go with kind eyes, I think. Not king. Kind eyes. That's lowercase. Kind eyes. Helmet, styled hair, or bald. We're going with styled hair. Styled hair. Worn holy symbol or fancy holy symbol. We're doing worn holy symbol. Worn holy symbol. Fit body, bulk body, or thin body. We are doing fit. Fit. Fit body. For Octavia. Okay. Stats. My HP is 10 plus Constitution. What is the standard array? Choose a class, choose a race, choose a name, choose a look. We've done that. Choose stats. 16, 15, 13, 12, 9, 8. Okay, so let's see. We've done that. What stats do paladins need to have good? To have good. What good stats do paladins need? So so it looks like charisma is the most important of the paladin stats. I'm gonna put a bookmark in the book here. So we are going to give ourselves 16 charisma, 15 strength, 13 con, 12 dex, 9 int, and 8 wisdom. That's gonna bite me in the ass. I can already feel it coming. 10 to dump dexterity on all your paladins. I'm the only adventurer I've got, so I can't have a bad dexterity, because that's how you avoid, like, falling rocks and stuff. A low int means I'm not gonna spout lore very often, very well. And a low wisdom means that I'm going to suck at scouting ahead. There's going to be a lot of bad weather. A lot of bad weather. Okay, so let's see. What's next? I'm just gonna go Dungeon World SRD. Dungeon World SRD. We're gonna go. Where's the paladin? Paladin. Names, look, stats. HP is 10 plus Constitution. Base damage is D10. So I have 23 out of 23 HP. When you pray for guidance, move number 1. Boom. Oh god, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to paste that into Notepad first. Notepad. Lay on hands, charisma. Where did that notepad file? Did I close notepad already? I just had it open. Human, lay on hands. Armored. You ignore the clumsy tag and the armor you wear. That means armor that has the clumsy tag means that sometimes when you fail, it's because your armor is getting in the way. Quest. Here we go. This is the quest. This is the quest. When you dedicate yourself to a mission through prayer and cleansing, state what you set out to do. Slay a great blight on the land. What is happening? Defend from the iniquities that beset them. Discover the truth. Oh, slay blank. Oh, that's what that is. Slay blank, a great blight on the land. Defend blank from the iniquities that beset them. Discover the truth of blank. Choose up to 2 boons. An unwavering sense of direction to blank. Invulnerability to blank. A mark of divine authority. Senses that pierce lies. A voice that transcends language. Freedom from hunger, thirst, and sleep. That's going to be super important because I'm running Perilous Wilds where like ration management and all that stuff is going to be super important. The GM will then tell you what vow or vows is required to maintain your blessing. Honor, temperance, piety, valor, truth, hospitality. Alright, so quest. This is my starting move. I don't have any other starting moves. Gear. Your load is 12 plus strength. We're going to put this up at the top of the sheet here so I can keep track of it. Load is 12 plus my strength modifier is 13. So I have 0 out of 13. I could have a halberd or a longsword and a shield. I'm going to go with a longsword and a shield. That's what I'm going to do. Paladins are so strong when questing, it's great. Absolutely. So longsword is 1 weight. 0-1 longsword does plus is close. +1 damage. And a shield is 2 weight, which gives +1 armor. Choose one: adventuring gear or dungeon rations and a healing potion. I have to choose between adventuring gear and dungeon rations? That's just not fair. Oh, I missed the alignment. I'm gonna be going good. Thank you for that catch, Bernhardt. I get XP whenever I endanger myself to protect somebody weaker than me. I am the only player, so we're just going to ignore the bonds system. I still have to choose between adventuring gear and dungeon rations and a healing potion. I'm gonna go with dungeon rations and a healing potion, I think. I might be able to use flags instead of bonds. I considered that. But I figure bonds can develop, like, there'll be plenty of NPCs for me to interact with and develop bonds with. I think. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, bonds with NPCs later down the road. I think I know how I want the game to start. We're going to do a little bit of world building as a treat. Draw the map. Example, drawing a map. Step 1. Put yourself on the map. Discuss where you are in terms of the fiction. Have you gathered in a village on the frontier? Have you just emerged from a ruin in a temple in the wild? If no one has an idea, the GM has a great idea that wants to set the stage. It's the GM's job to say where you are. So we are going to say, I am in a prison cell and I do not remember how I got there. Standard Elder Scrolls opening, I see. Yeah, why not? Right? So we're going to wake up in a dungeon cell with no clue how we got there. And that's where we're going to start. So we need to put that dungeon somewhere on this map. And we're going to say, let's zoom in. Look at how gorgeous this map is. Ottersparks did a really good job with this. Incarnate is so cool. We're going to put this dungeon at M19. Let's see. We are a human paladin. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll go with she, her. I think I'm gonna add that to my character notes. Octavia, she, her. All right. So we've built the character, And we've decided where we are on the map. I'm going to give this character a 0-day white radius so it pops a little bit more. You can see it more clearly on the map. Let us begin to finish the world building. Step 1, put yourself on the map. We have done that. Step 2, add regions. Start with the player with the youngest character. That would be me. Everyone at the table, including the GM, adds a region to the map. A region is a large swath of land or sea defined by either its prevailing terrain types, such as dark forest, desert, frozen highland, etc., or a political boundary, a kingdom, a barony, tribal lands, etc. The first region must contain your current position. Okay, so this is a mountain range. We're going to draw on the map in background, and we're going to draw in white. So this mountain range will be our very first region. Now what? Okay, so we've when you add a region, whether it's defined by terrain or political border, then write its name on the map, the broken waste, the barony, the bulwarks. If you find yourself at a loss, don't drag it out. Roll up the region's name using random region on page 16. Page 16. All right. Thing I love about Perilous Wilds is it uses the D12. I love the D12. The D12 is so good. Let's see. Region name template. 11. The noun's adjective terrain. The noun... Oh no, this is D100. The noun is 11. 11 is death. So it is noun, adjective, terrain. Deaths, adjective, adjective. We need an adjective from the adjective table. Adjective. If I say the word one more time, it'll be adjective. Cognition. Man, it's been so long since I played Deadlands. All right, let's see. 73. 73. Death's Long Mountain. And that's where the prison is. The Death's Long Mountains. Death's Long Mountains. We're going to find out why it's called Death's Long Mountains in a bit, I imagine. Because if I break out of prison and I'm in the mountains, Death Schlong. My audience is 12 years old and I love it. Okay, so that's what we've got because everybody at the table gets to name one region and we have named that region. I feel like I should do some more regions though. Let's do some more. Let's do some more. Let's at least expand a little bit. We're on the largest, it's not the largest. We're on one of the two largest islands of the Great Isles. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta add text. The Great Isles. There we go. I hate drawing on this map because it's so pretty and I feel like adding my MS Paint to it is just not good. Huge tracts of death. Yeah, let's add another region. Let's... I feel like we should do the region surrounding Death's Long Mountains here. Death's Long... Why is that 56? That should be like 16. Death's Long Mountains. There we go. We'll put it right inside. That way it's not in the way of other terrains. Let's do this desert. This area right here. This area right here is going to be, let's roll it up. Region name template. 5. Terrain of the noun. It is the desert of the noun. What noun do we get? 97. 97 is a noun. Desert of the Victory. Or just the desert of Victory. We'll get rid of the, which is just adjacent to Death's Long Mountains. Meanwhile, we're gonna add, this is a mighty hilly forest area. So this forest is going to be 5. Again, terrain of the noun. So it'll be the forest of 83. 83 is sorrow. Forest of Sorrow. Okay, that's enough. We'll definitely expand on this world when we get there as things Can you guys hear that? That asshole outside my house with the engine? Why is the forest so sad? We'll have to find out as we get there. Vroom vroom. That asshole with the engine out there. Okay. I am eager to start getting into playing here. So let's move on. Let's flip over to the dungeon generation. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and this will be where we doodle our map in our MS Paint. But before that, let's go to notes. Let's go to notes here. And we're going to jot down this dungeon. So the way it works in Perilous Wilds is your dungeon has common areas, uncommon areas, common areas, unique areas, and themes. And themed areas are how you judge how explored the dungeon is. And the more themed areas you encounter, the closer you get to finishing the dungeon. So what we're going to do is we have no idea how I'm imprisoned, what's imprisoned me, etc. And we're going to learn a little bit about what's going on as we generate this dungeon. So first we're going to say... I'm going to say it's a small dungeon. And it'll have 2 themes. Each theme will have 2 boxes to check off. Themes. We're going to have 2 themes. We're going to... Let's roll up what those themes are. A 7 is an unusual theme. 12 of the unusual theme is impending disaster. Oh no. And then our next theme is 11, which is an extraordinary theme. Scheming evil. Okay. Starting to understand why I might have been imprisoned here. So let's say rolling 1d6 plus 2 to find out how many areas of each type. 8 areas of each type. Okay, so common areas and unique areas. I know one of the unique areas we want is the exit. So we're going to have an exit. This is going to be a torture chamber, because this is an evil, scheming prison, right? It's got to be...
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Thank you for the follow, Britu. Britu. So a third unique area. A treasure hoard, let's call it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no. Worship chamber. Experiment lab. My prison cell. Okay. Common areas. Let's see. Oh no. I still have 2 more unique rooms to add. 2 more unique rooms. We've got an exit, a torture chamber, a treasure hoard, a worship chamber, an experiment lab, a prison cell. Oh yeah, the warden's office. Good idea. The warden's office and 1 more unique chamber. And a ritual room. All right. So common areas include a cell block. We're gonna have 4 common areas. We're gonna have a 3-way intersection. Have a chamber, which is not the hallway, and we're going to have cultist sleeping room. All right. So we've built our dungeon. It is time. We're gonna take a quick tiny break here. And so we're gonna be right back. I'm gonna pour myself a drink. I'm gonna take a tinkle, and we're gonna start play Now that we got a character, we got a setting, we got a goal, we got a starting point. We all know where we know where it's all happening, and it's going to start happening. It's happening. Okay, so I imagine I'm in a dungeon with impending disaster and scheming evil as my themes. Let's see. So I wake up, I imagine I don't have any of my equipment. I'm in this cell which is like carved out of the mountainside. Like in like I've got the iron bars in my way in front of me here, and then I've got behind me is caves, like rough-hewn cave walls, like somebody used magic or a chisel or something to dig this chamber out. And I suppose my first question is there a guard? Is there a guard watching my cell? Yes, and so let me explain interventions. Interventions are when the unnatural dice. Interventions are when the Oracle will interject some sort of random event or some sort of expounding information. And when intervention hits 3 points, that's when that happens. But until then, nothing happens. We have +1. We have I'm gonna write this down here. Intervention is currently set to 1. So is there a guard? Yes, and there are probably more than one guard. I imagine these guards are probably like wearing dark robes with hoods and daggers in their hand. They sound like typical cultists to me. Where would cultists be in the Dungeon World book? Oh. There's no stats for that. That's fine. We'll have to make them up as we go. So let's stat them out then. So we've statted out the cultists. Where's my unnatural? Here we go. So we've statted out the cultists. So I'm in the cell. Behind me is cave wall. In front of me is iron bars, and there are more than one. There's 2 cultists watching over my cell. So what do? I don't have a weapon. I don't have a quest. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm from. All I know is I'm in this cell. And they look mighty evil. They are doing the whole classic black robes, big black hoods, daggers in hand, patrolling back and forth, right? I've got my holy symbol. What kind of god do I have a holy symbol for? Let's ask the portents to release the masses. Release masses. Well, I'm gonna say that I follow a god of freedom, like a chaotic Scrubthulu, like a god of freedom, of a godex. Yeah, it'll be a godex of freedom, which I am being imprisoned right now. Totally not cool by me. So I'm gonna try, and I'm going to say, can I see on these patrolling cultists? Can I see any keys like dangling from their hips or something? Let's find out. No, I cannot see any keys. Am I gonna have to like bend bars and like hurt my way out of this? I'm gonna have to deal with these cultists. There's 2 of them. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Octavia, what kind of paladin are you? God of revolution against corrupt rulers. Yeah, that sort of thing, like freeing people from dictatorships and from like oppressive taxes and so on and so forth. Libertax. You know what? Let's go to the fantasy name generator. Let's go to fantasy and folklore. Actually, can I? Is there a search? There is a search. God name. God and goddess names. We'll go with goddess names. Oh, there's a neutral names button. Goddix. Awesome. Kotia, god of jealousy. Aelin, god of soil. Desis, god of children. Chaos. No. Rhinos. Oh, hell yeah. Rhinos. That's the name of my god. Are they competent guards, or can I pickpocket them? I'd imagine they're wearing cultist robes. They're just here doing what they're told. Like, I don't think this is like an official prison. This is more just like a holding cell. I probably came here to beat these cultists up and save the day, because our dungeon themes are impending disaster and scheming evil. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get rid of at least one of these cultists. So I'm a lean in and be like, hey, psst, hey, and I'm gonna see if I can get one of these cultists to come over to the bars, and I will say it takes a second before I annoy, because this isn't exactly a parlay, and the only danger I think I'm defying here is being stuck in this cell. Well, actually, because something else could happen as I'm waiting. Like, I could be here as a sacrifice. I don't know. So yeah, we'll defy danger here. We'll defy danger, and we'll say this is based on charisma. This is based on charisma. The idea being, like, if I can get one of these cultists over here I kind of want to, like, bang their heads against the bars and knock them out, and that'll mean there's only one cultist to deal with as I try and strength my way out. So let's say unnatural dice. It's a miss from Tice. So now I go in here and I delete one of these misses from Tice. So, on a miss from Tice, we make a GM move. I mark a point of XP as well. I know in the past, we didn't let a natural dice give XP, but because I'm the only player here, I feel like the XP is fine to get. So XP is 0 out of 8 is your first amount of XP for a level up. So I have 1 XP. So these cultists, they're marching back and forth, and they don't pay any attention to me. As I'm like, psst, hey. So I can't just sit here and have nothing happen. So we'll say, does time pass and does something happen? Like, do they come and get me out of my cell? Let's ask the Oracle that. Yes, they do. Okay. So they, after a while of me trying to catch their attention, I fail. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I have no idea what's going on. And I am stuck behind iron bars. So I kind of slump back in my chair. And I sit and I wait. And eventually one of these cultists will come by, and with a chain on a key on a chain will unlock the cell and holding me at gunpoint. So he gets me at gunpoint, and he kind of like motions me, come on, it's time. It's time for what? And he doesn't answer me. And so he escorts me through through some hallways and brings me, am I a sacrifice? No. And no, I'm not the sacrifice. And they're going to make me watch. This is supposed to be, I'm guessing there's some kind of like rivalry between me and this cult. And I've been hunting them for a long time, and this is like their whole like victory over me at long last. Let's toss in a big hit, a strong hit, from Steph. Unnatural dice, add item, Strong hit from Steph. Infection. Save changes. You've been added to the list. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. Is it someone close to you they are going to sacrifice? That is a good question. Let's ask the Oracle. No, it's not. And it's multiple people, I think. So they escort me into this chamber. Let's set the scene, right? Into this underground chamber that's kind of like circular and wide, and there's a series of altars of like stone tables with people strapped to them. People kind of like strapped down to these stone tables where like there's dried blood stains and stuff all over these tables with like runes inscribed on their sides. On the sides of the table, not the sides of the people. And this cultist is standing in the center with a very ornate looking knife, and the guy has got me at gunpoint. Now intervention only goes up. Intervention only goes up when I roll a 6, so it's every yes and becomes a point of intervention, Tice. So we've got this, I'm at gunpoint as the cultists and the sacrifice in the middle of like torches kind of like along the walls. And I'm going to say that, I don't know what's going on here, but I know that I don't like what's going on here, and I should put a stop to this. Do the cultists sacrifice from within their own ranks? I don't know. What is...
Oh,
Serrana's donated $5. I can't read that. Where's the dashboard? Serranas, welcome back, buddy. This is gonna be great. What would you like to do with your $5 of unnatural dice, Serranas? You don't like being held at gunpoint? I'm picturing like Pirates of the Caribbean levels of tech, where there's cannons and like one shot. A strong hit from Serranas. All right, let's add that real quick. Add item. Strong hit from Serranas. Save changes. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try and elbow the cultist behind me and grab his gun. That's what I think I'm gonna do. This is definitely defy danger based on strength, because it's like a melee. Or is this a hack and slash? No, this is definitely defy danger. This is defy danger based on strength. Save changes on unnatural dice. What do you say? Strong hit from Serranas. Yes, I succeed. And now I have to remove that strong hit from the table. There, boom. Okay. So, thank you very much, Serranas. Thank you both for the channel support and for supplying me with the chance to elbow this cultist right in his face and grab his gun and whip it around and just shoot this cultist with the knife just outright. First things first, that sounds like a volley based on dexterity. So unnatural dice, a miss from Tice. I'm slowly churning through these misses. I get XP. I get a miss from Tice. Where is a miss from Tice to delete this one? Delete this miss from Tice. There we go. Save changes. So what happens on that miss? Show a downside to their class, race, or equipment. Well, I did just fire a gun. It's very, very loud, so now my ears are ringing and everybody is like, oh god. And also, the cultists that are not in this room probably just heard that. The dungeon has been alerted to the sounds of combat. Also, I missed this cultist, so this cultist immediately ducks and covers behind one of the tables. And this cultist behind me comes at me with a dagger. Pulls out his dagger, and since I just took his gun. Does the gun have a bayonet? Does it? Yes. Yes, it does. Cool. I'm armed with a melee weapon. Excellent. Because I don't have the time to reload a gun. So this cultist comes at me from behind with a dagger because now the prisoner is loose and armed. And the prisoner is loose and armed and unnatural dice. What happens? This is a hack and slash. It's a miss from Tice. How did I know that was going to happen? What are the cultists moves? That was a miss, so I got a GM move. Use up their resources. I don't have any resources. I mean, I've got a gun. Does he take his gun back? I mean, it can't shoot. It's got a bayonet on it. Yeah, he disarms me. So I hear him moving and pulling his dagger out. You know, that little shh of a dagger being pulled out of its sheath that doesn't happen in real life but totally happens in fantasy. He pulls out his dagger. I hear that, and I whirl around with the bayonet, and I bat the dagger away, but he grabs the gun and yanks it out of my hands. And I'm gonna just beat the snot out of this guy. He's got a dagger and a gun, and I need something. But you know what? Yeah, I have to deal with this cultist here because the one that's hiding behind the table that's going to be sacrificing people is still alive, and I need to deal with that. This is very intense. So I turn around and just punch. Like, I got fists. You can't take those from me, hopefully. Use your smolder. Just look him in the eyes and be like, can I please have that weapon now? No, I'm going to unnatural dice. Disadvantage from Coughsbro. Thank you, Coughsbro, for the support. Coughsbro was subbing to me when I was offline. Delete the disadvantage for Coughsbro. Save changes. So, this means I roll 2d6 plus my strength. My strength is +1. So 2d6 +1. Twice to take the lower of the two. So that's a 7. And a 9. So 7. Nice! This is a hack and slash. So I'm going to deal my damage to this cultist. My damage is a d10. Oh, I knock him clean out. But not before he gets to make a move, and he's going to conjure the powers of darkness and try and step away, but it's too... Like, he's gonna step back into the shadows and, like, vanish, but I punch through his little shadow portal and just bop right in the face, and he stumbles back and the body is gone. He takes the gun with him. He takes his knife with him. I am unarmed, but I am free. I suppose now I cross the room and try and grab the cultist who's hiding behind the tables. Because I need him to not be sacrificing anybody. That question that you had asked earlier, Sass, about whether or not the cultists sacrifice from within their own ranks, is one I will ask as soon as I have the means to know. I try and stick to questions that I can answer from what my character's perceptions are. Right now, I just see naked people on tables. Let's see. So I close the distance, and this guy has a dagger. He's got the Athame. He's ready to sacrifice these people. I'm going to dive and tackle him. And I'm going to try to disarm him. But if I fail, he's going to get away, and he's going to sacrifice one of these three people on these tables. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say this is a defy danger based on strength as I try and tackle him to the ground. We're going to unnatural dice. It's a miss from Tice. Tice, man. So many misses from Tice. This cultist pulls out of the way as I dive, and I hit the ground in a cloud of dust. Dust kicks up, and this cultist immediately sacrifices the first of the three people, driving his dagger down, and a wheeze of death escapes this poor victim. I mean, I hate to do the same action twice in a row, but I gotta stop this guy before he gets to the rest of the... I gotta. And I want his knife so I can use it, so I'm gonna try and tackle him again. Unnatural dice. Disadvantage from Tice. So the first roll is a 9. My strength is +1, so that would be a 10. A 5 + 1 is 6. I fail. I mark experience points. So I get up, and I throw myself at him again, and he ducks out of the way, and he kills the second victim. I don't know what's going to happen if he gets to all 3, but it's going to be bad. What do I do? What do I do? I think I might stop. I think I might stop trying to tackle him and instead go for some kung fu shit. That's what I think I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna like full on, this is Sparta, kick this guy away from the last table, which is gonna be a hack and slash with unnatural dice of advantage from Dio. Thank you, Dio. Okay. All right, now let's just pray the dice don't fuck me. 2d6 + 2. 6 + 2 is 8. Advantage. It's going to be 8 because that was a 3. So I got an 8. So I deal damage to this cultist and knock him out of the way of the last sacrifice, and he also gets to pull off a move to me. He gets to threat on me, and I'm gonna call it damage. So my 1d10, he has 6 HP. I've dealt 4, so that's 2 HP remaining on this last cultist, and he also gets 1d4 damage to me. 4 damage. Of course I roll max. Naturally, I roll max. Okay, so we've got this cultist is still conscious, hits the ground, slashes with his knife as I close the distance and try and jump on top of him and pile drive him into the ground. Well, not a pile drive, but I'm trying to pummel him into the ground. So that's gonna be another hack and slash as I jump down on top of him and just beat the snot out of him because I want him unconscious. Unnatural dice. What happens? It's a disadvantage from Tice. So it's I've got +2, so that's a 9. Okay, so it's gonna be 9. So again, I deal my damage. He deals his damage. Roll 1d10 + 1d4. Not exclamation point d4. 1d4. Oh, wow. We both get max. So that's 8. What's 23 minus 8? I have a calculator right here. 23 minus 8 is 15. So I have 15 HP remaining. And I beat the snot out of this last cultist. Pow, 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 pow. Finally, the place is free of cultists. I'm panting, and I can stand up. What does my lay on hands do? Lay on hands. When you touch someone skin to skin and pray for their well-being, roll charisma. On a 10+, you heal 1d8 damage or remove 1 disease. On a 7 to 9, they are healed, but the damage or disease is transferred to you. So I'm guessing that move probably isn't supposed to be used on myself. Yeah, I got a Mortal Kombat fatality. Just pow, pow, just blood everywhere. I stand up. I pant. I need to find my stuff. I need to find my shield, my armor. I need to find my longsword. I need to find out what's up with this with this potentially cultist sacrifice that survived. However, I am going to mark a point of experience because I just endangered myself to protect somebody weaker than I am. 6 out of 8. I'm almost level 2 already. Hell yeah! The remaining sacrifice that wasn't slain. I'm going to go up to them and let's come up with who they are. Let's see. I'm gonna bust out Une. Okay, let's see. This is D100. Let's see D100. D100 and 11. They are a lively 73. NPC noun 73. They're a lively crone. And let's see what their motivation is, so I can roleplay them appropriately. 1D100. 62. Motivation verb. 62, 62, 62. Accompany. What do they want to accompany? 47. Is that 47? That is 47. 47. Accompany burden. Okay, so this old lady was not a cultist. This old lady was a mercenary who was hired to protect a merchant caravan that was captured. And she was brought here as a sacrifice, which probably means that the remaining sacrifices that are now dead are also from this caravan. So I'm gonna walk up to this poor lady and be like, "Are you all right?" And she's lively. Says, "What do you think?" "Well, I think you're happy to be alive. Just untie me." Okay, so I set about and untying the straps. And she'll explain. I'll ask like, who are you? Why are you here? What happened here? And she'll explain to me that, she was part of this caravan, this merchant caravan that was captured it was beset by cultists as it moved through Death's long mountains. And I'll say, "Can you fight?" And she was a mercenary, so yeah, she can fight. She's gonna be one badass old lady. That's my prediction. Start with the monster's damage die unmodified. If the monster is magical, there is some strange item. If it is lord over others, we're gonna say this was the head cultist that I just beat the shit out of, because who else would be doing the sacrifice? So yeah, they're lord over others. So that's plus 1d4 to the roll. Roll the monster's damage die plus any added dice and consult the table below. So we're gonna roll 2d4, and that'll give us a 4. 4, a small valuable worth 2d10 times 10 coins. Worth 40 coins. Gem or art. It's an art item. Let's roll on D12. 11. It is an orb, a sigil, or a rod. Oh yeah, he has like his fancy rod that like signifies himself as the leader of the cultists. And we're gonna take that because that's worth money, and I don't have any money. I'm poor, okay? Besides, he's dead. He's not using it anymore. Oh no, he's unconscious. Do I take it from him? I am a paladin. I'm not lawful. I'm good. Yeah, it's mine now. Fuck him. So I'm gonna take these cultists and I'm gonna tie them up. I'm gonna ooh, I don't have any rope. I don't have any adventuring gear. The straps that are keeping these victims tied to the table. I unstrap all of them, and I take the knife and I cut them and I tie them together, so I can take these straps and make them into long belts and kind of wrap them around the one cultist, because the other cultist fell back and disappeared with my gun in his black portal of darkness. So I'm gonna tie up this one cultist, and I'm gonna ask this old lady what her name is, and we're gonna go to fantasy name generators, and we're gonna go to Elizabethan names. That's gonna be the naming convention for the people of this campaign, I think. Female names: Christina Lind. Christina Lind. So let's see. So she introduces herself as Christina Lind. I know my name. My name is Octavia. And I ask her if she knows anything about me, about what I'm doing here. Was I part of this caravan? And she says, no, I was not part of this caravan. And I ask her if she knows where our stuff is, because if she's a mercenary, she should have armor and weapons, but she doesn't. No, she doesn't know, and there's a chance that our gear might have been destroyed. So the next question is, do I stick around for this cultist? Do I wake this cultist up and demand answers? Do I think that they will answer me? I don't think the cultist is going to want to tell me anything, and I'm not going to want to torture information out of a cultist because I'm not that kind of asshole. So I have nothing to compel this cultist with. So I'm just going to tie him up and leave him there and start exploring this cave, I think. But Tice asks a good question. Does Christina, is she bloodthirsty? Does she want to put the cultist down? No, she's not bloodthirsty. She does not want to put the cultist down. So I'm going to take Christina Lind with me, and I'm going to start exploring. Was the cultist acting of their own accord? Are they under a spell? No. And no, and they've been at this for a while, I think, is what that means. So I'm going to start exploring this dungeon, and let's move to the map screen here. All right, and now we're going to explore the dungeon. How this works is we're going to bust out Perilous Wilds. Oh, before we continue, we need to stat up the we need to stat out the followers. Creating followers. Was the ritual partially successful since 2 of the 3 victims died? I'm going to say the ritual failed because one of the victims survived. I stopped the cultist before he could complete his ritual. That makes the most sense to me. I'm not going to bother asking the Oracle that. I'm just going to say that, like, perhaps this area that we were in, this area was definitely the ritual room. So I'm going to strike the ritual room from the list. Format, text, strike through. Okay. Let's stat this follower. Let's get Christina. Let's get Christina going here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? What time is it? We are going to take a break here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recording multiple episodes per stream. These episodes are going to wind up on YouTube. I'm going to be recording multiple episodes per stream. So if you want to find out what happens next and find out more about Christina, stay tuned. I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be like. I've got to edit this and take out all the breaks and all that nonsense. But so we're going to be back. I need more drink. My throat is really dry. So we'll be right back, and then we'll pick this up as soon as I've statted out Christina, and we'll see what happens next. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Bye-bye.